Broad Street
Misery. I'll tell you something that's not blocked, and that's Broad Street Misery with the Fly Eagles Fly podcast, because that's never going to be blocked. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Fly Eagles Fly podcast with Corey Alexander and
J-Bliss.
And we are unblocked because we are terrific. We got so much great stuff tonight. Big Eagles win. 3 weeks in the bag for the NFL. We got a lot to unwrap, Jay. A lot to unwrap as we go through this stuff. So we, as always, are going to bring you the entire NFL, but we're going to concentrate on our lovely birds, as always. And we got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. A lot of things to unwrap. We've got some insights. We've got some reviews. We got grades. We got 4 points. We've got drama queens. We got everything you need. Plus, I told a couple people to tune in tonight. If you want to get some swag, you need to answer the trivia stuff. But we also can get some swag for people who are following online on our Broad Street Misery page on Facebook. All right, so let's get to it, Jay. Let's get to some quick drama, though, before we get to the game. We got to talk about this. So Howie's made some trades. We reviewed all the trades that we did over the past couple of months. And one that prior to that, though, was the trade of CJ GJ to the Texans. Now, we got back a guy who was pretty much garbage, an offensive lineman, Kenyon Green. Even Stout couldn't recommend that project. I mean, this guy, speaking of blocked, this guy couldn't block my grandmother if she was falling downhill on ice. So we got him in a fifth for CJ GJ in a sixth. Today, the Texans have released CJ GJ just 3 games into the season, Jay. 3 games in the season. Here's everything that was written about this. Among the issues with the Texans' experience behind the scenes with CJ GJ was critical of teammates in the secondary. He made 3 critical blunders in 3 different games in each week that led to touchdowns. Yep. So 3 big plays. The rumor is that he was saying it wasn't his responsibility when he was confronted in the team meetings, not in the individual group meetings, not in the team meetings. Then he said he didn't like his role as much because he didn't get to blitz, he didn't get to freelance, so he wasn't really happy with that. Ultimately, the locker room was an issue. He wasn't getting along with some of his teammates, and eventually he just wasn't a good fit. They released him. Also, friction behind the scenes about, again, wanting to blitz more, and then his communications, Jay, which I didn't think about this, was very poor with his teammates on the field as well as off the field.
Right. So
apparently he wasn't telling people to do the right things, and they considered him a leader in that group, that he should have been making the better calls in that secondary. So Garner allowed 3 big plays in 3 games, contributing to scoring touchdowns. Also, he was struggling to consistently guard the correct opposing player when match coverage based on Texas defensive calls and the routes run by the offense struggles that during walkthroughs led up into games. So apparently he's making the same mistakes in practice as in the game. So just an interesting thing. Just thought I'd bring that up. Give me your thoughts.
I just think that the Eagles saw the writing on the wall. It was some character issues. I believe that he just wasn't a fit for the team, and that's why they let him go. He's like a wild kid. Like, eventually you got to grow up, right? So if you look at everything, like after the game, locker room behavior, he was just always off the chain, right? He just didn't fit. Like, this team is very mature, very professional, very, like, you don't see anybody that wilds out on that team. Like, even Jalen Carter, you don't ever see him loud and just out of pocket, right?
Right.
You almost had to keep the camera away from him because you don't know what he's going to say. And it's like, he's like a loose cannon. And it's like, at some point, dude, you're a veteran. You got to grow up. And if you're a leader, if you claim to be that guy, then let your play speak for itself. Like, you don't have to be all loud and talking trash and everything like that. And then, like, you got thrown out of the game when we played against Washington, right? You gave up the touchdown in the Super Bowl. You gave up the touchdown the first week against Green Bay.
Yep.
It's a lot of plays where he's responsible for people getting touchdowns. And yeah, you might make a play or two, but it doesn't compensate for the mistakes that you make. And it's like people are like, oh, we need to get him back. No, we don't.
Oh, no.
We don't need to get him back. Like you got to understand, like it was something more than just his play. It's who he is as a person. And you out here like running your mouth to Saquon Barkley in practice for what?
Yeah, so if Jays were talking about, actually, it was A.J. Brown. I don't know if anyone remembers our podcast from a year ago. A.J. Brown walked off the field, went right to his position coach, who went to Sirianni and says, if CJ is still out there, I ain't going back. Right. It was that bad.
Right.
And the whole thing, from what I read from sources that he kind of got around, is that he wasn't angry necessarily at a little trash talk, but it was relentless. And there was a certain point where A.J. told him, that's enough. Right. I got it. That's enough. Right. And he still kept pushing the envelope. Right. And that's when AJ's like, I've had enough. I've had enough. I already told you that this is it. We're teammates, right? I told you that's that. Didn't stop. So I just think this guy, to me, Jay, he's like a boxer that doesn't hear the bell. Right. He just keeps punching. It's like, dude, round's over. Right. All right. So there's a little thing on that, but that was good. So let's get to the game here. Let's start with this, Jay. Mm-hmm. Biggest comeback the Eagles have ever had at the Link. Yep. That's number one. This was only the 8th comeback in franchise history of 19 or more points. Only the 8th one, which is not great, but maybe we're ahead so much, Jay, we didn't have to. And this is by the way, this is of 19 or more points and the biggest comeback they've had since 2010 against
the Giants.
That's correct. When we were down by
I want to say 21
points.
21. Okay, yeah, 21
points. They were down 31-10.
Down in the fourth quarter, yeah.
After the tight end, their tight end got that touchdown. We're down 31-10. Started with the Selleck long pass. Ours started with got it, which was a much smaller pass, but still started with the tight end and came back. We know the whole thing with Deshaun Jackson, blah, blah, blah. The Eagles only comebacks in 19 years. So that game and this one are the only Eagles' only comebacks from 19 points, at least 90 points in the last 30 years, though. So we've had 8 overall, but only 2 in the last 30 years. The biggest comeback ever at the Link that the Eagles had since, and then Eagles' biggest comeback since 1988 when they trailed the Cowboys 20-0 in the middle of the second quarter at the Vet, but rallied on a Randall Cunningham TD pass to Keith Byers and a couple of Anthony Toney touchdowns. By the way, that game, if you remember, it was a last-second pass to Anthony Toney in the corner of the end zone with about 10 seconds left that won him that game. It's a great game. The Eagles' biggest comeback ever were down 24 points in Washington in 1946 and in Chicago versus the Cardinals in 1959. That's some old days for you, baby. Yep. Another interesting story before, we got in the game, but I just thought real fast, we got to touch on. It came out today, and this was already, I think I told you this. I had from other sources that told me personally that we were interested in Sanders, and it got around the NFL, and that's why Cleveland, member, leapfrogged us to get Sanders. Yeah. But apparently, both the Ravens and us called them early in the 5th round, saying we're looking at you. And Sanders, his dad, told both the Eagles and Ravens, "Don't do it. He's not interested in sitting behind somebody for 10 years." So when Cleveland called, they were fine with it because he figured he could start right away. But he's now 3rd string, which tells you this guy's mindset. You shouldn't want to learn behind a guy. Yep. Oh, by the way, this is the biggest thing now. This is the biggest thing, Jay. What was the most important aspect of this comeback victory on Sunday? Can you tell me? The most important aspect of this comeback? In broad terms, not in specific terms, in very broad terms concerning the Philadelphia Eagles. I would say the biggest would be Jalen making the call on the line. Even broader, as a franchise, why was this one of the most important victories in the franchise history? I don't know. According to Elias Sports, the Eagles, who are 635-26 as a franchise in the regular season, own an all-time winning record for the first time in team history. Above 500, right. We're winners, baby. We're winners, Jay. Come on, man. Right. Finally, in our lifetime, dude, we can finally say the Eagles are winners. This is unbelievable. It took us almost 100 years. And that's what it felt like, by the way. Yeah. After the decade of the 60s and 70s killing us, it's pretty bad. And by the way, the 40s were pretty bad, too. We were pretty much bad in every decade until now. We also know Jordan Davis ran 18 miles an hour. Everybody saw that. That is the fastest anybody over 330 pounds has ever ran. Now, by the way, they've only tracked this since like 2015, so who the hell knows?
Right.
But he reached that top speed at least since 2017 is the fastest guy. Jordan Mailata, by the way, owns the highest offensive grade still. Remember he did last year total for the season. He's got it now 91.4 among offensive linemen, and I didn't see he did anything wrong on Sunday, so he probably still has it.
Right.
Jordan Davis is tied for second most tackles amongst NFL tackles this season. Amazing. Leads the position with 3 passes defense. He's just having a great year. By the way, before you get real into stuff, would you believe that Bryce Huff has the 10th highest PFF rating for defensive end at 81.3?
Yeah, but that's because he's only doing pass rushing. He's not stopping the run.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And that's pretty bad. So I thought so let's get into the game a little bit. Just pick out different things before we get into specific stuff. But I thought that, for the first time, and we'll get to our grades in a minute, but Barkley had a tough day.
Yeah.
The holes maybe weren't there and stuff like that, but he seemed to be picking the wrong holes and picking the right stuff. And I don't know if you saw this, but he had a bad drop on 2nd and 10 midfield on the final drive. It was pretty much right there, and he just dropped it.
Yep.
He also had a tough time with blitzes. He picked 2 wrong blitzers.
Well, one of them I'm not putting it on him.
Okay.
Because Pryor was in the game. He felt like he needed to help Pryor with the chip, and that way his back was turned and didn't see the delayed blitz coming from the safety. So, I don't really put that on Saquon. I see him just being a good teammate there to try to help out with Pryor. If Fred Johnson had been in the game, I think he picks that block up because he doesn't need as much help. So, I understand, and you can be critical of Saquon, but with the holes and the runs. But I think a lot of that running scheme has a lot to do with Kevin Patullo. I don't think it's necessarily Saquon. You can ask him to do so much, but if the play is, is a draw or it's a, run to the right side and there's no hole there and he tries to cut back, and we see a lot of cutbacks and him getting hit on the backside, it's because it's not there. And it's like, I don't see the pulls. I see just straight up blocks.
Okay.
I don't ever see like a guard pulling at all as a lead blocker or anything like that. It's just, I don't know, man. They're gonna have to switch some stuff around. Like, go back to last year. Look at some of the plays that Kellen Moore was running and run some of those. Like, do something.
Here's a little interesting aside real fast, too. During the game, when Jalen Carter got that personal foul penalty, stupid, somebody picked out on a camera, Devontae Smith went over and had some choice words for Jalen Carter when he was sitting down.
Yeah.
So it looks like Devontae Smith very rarely speaks, but I guess if he said something, that means a lot. Just so you know, Eagles have won 19 of 20 games overall. The only better stretch in NFL history was the Patriots in 2003, who won 20 straight games.
Yep.
So a handful of teams have won 19 of 20 in the Super Bowl era, but this is the best stretch for the Eagles for sure. By the way, they were trailing 27-6 in the third quarter, outgained 222-31. Can you comprehend that? 222-31 in the third quarter.
Yeah.
The rest of the game, the Eagles outgained them 257-134 and outscored them 26-0.
Stats are for losers.
Well, at that time, they were losing.
They were losing, but it's the tale of two halves, right? That's basically what it boils down to.
Yep. We're going to get into our 4 points, but just a quick thing. I rounded up to like a top 5 concerns. Not sure what you're thinking of, but just based on the first couple of games and through the third game, play calling, run defense, cornerback play, run offense, and the return team. Mm-hmm. What do you think of those 5?
I can agree with those. Run offense, run defense, I don't really put too much stock in. Because it's not like people are running the ball, running the clock out on us, right?
Right.
Like, we can't stop the run. There's choice situations where you see somebody get a first down, but then ultimately the defense holds. We get to the red zone, they hold them to a field goal. It's like, it's like bend but don't break. Like, you can go ahead and meander your way down the field or whatever, but I don't see anybody like just breaking out and getting away from us. You know what I mean? We still walking people down even if they do get out. So it's like, you know, you gotta take the good with the bad. Like, yeah, you're right. The defense ain't as stout as it was last year, but we weren't in the beginning. We weren't that great in September.
True.
Like we got to the stretch in October, November, December, and it was like, yeah, dude, we only giving up 10 points. We giving up 12 points. We giving up 15 points. That and that's what we on the mission to do. We right on pace to be in the same situation, same position.
Yeah, so right now the Eagles are last in the league with a 45% success rate against the run this season. They're yielding a first down or touchdown on over 34% of the opponent's attempts, which is a league low, and they are 25th in rushing yards allowed. And it's weird. So I think you have Jordan Davis, Jalen Carter, you have Zach Bond and Jihad Campbell. I think this is an easy fix, though.
Yeah,
I think you're going to see this is going to get better. So I'm not worried about it, but just like those early stats just get you a little kind of.
I think those stats mean way more if we 0-3.
I agree.
Right now, it's like, do you think this defense is going to be playing the same way in November? I doubt it.
I doubt it too. Could happen, but I doubt it.
I doubt it. I doubt it. And here's the thing, right? So, do you see us? And this Sunday could have been a really bad loss, right?
Oh yeah.
But based on that, I don't see us taking a bad loss this year. I don't see us getting beat by 20 points. I don't see us losing a game by more than 10 points. I just don't see it.
I think you're right, and I think for two reasons. I think you've got some very good leaders on defense, and you got Jalen Hurts on offense, and they will themselves, no matter what's going on, to get better. And they're not going to win every game. I think we can agree on that. But I think you're right. I think that they would have too much pride to get their ass whooped and then just roll over and play dead.
Well, here's the other thing. If we do lose, you see us losing the next week? Like, it's like, do you see us going on a 3-game slide? No, I just don't see it happening. Right. So, yeah, you're right. We are going to lose eventually. But it's like, is it a bad loss? Was it a couple of things that went wrong? Was it the turnover situation? Like, think about all those things that could contribute to us losing. Right. I don't see a team lining up with us for 4 quarters and there's no turnovers, there's no mistakes, and they just straight out beat us. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, I could see like the Lions coming in and just outscoring us, and it just was one of those games where they just happened to have everything work for them. But
they have to have a perfect game to beat us. I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen.
Yeah, but I'm saying that. But I could see like something like that happening, and it's like, and you walk away going, okay, they just had a perfect game. What do you do?
But do you see them beating us twice though?
No, I don't think they're coming. They're not coming to the link in the playoffs and beating us. No,
that's what I'm saying. I mean, even if we went to Detroit, I just don't like. It's like, yes, they do have talent. Don't get me wrong. It's like a team definitely that'd be like, all right, do you put them up there with the Rams to be able to give us competition? Yeah, but we ain't seen them in 2 or 3 years.
Right.
So, like, all that talk is fine. We play y'all this year. Let's see when we play. When we play, I don't want to hear it.
That's right.
Well, if it was out, yeah, just like the Rams were saying, if it wasn't snowing, it wasn't snowing. It wasn't snowing this weekend. Now, what's your excuse now?
And by the way, it wasn't snowing when we beat your ass in November, too.
Right. It wasn't. Yeah. So what is going to be the excuse now?
All right, let's get deep into the game here. We got some real good stuff with our 4 points, our game balls, our drama queen, and our grades coming up, too. We got some good grades, some interesting insights. So why don't you rock out with your number 1 4 point?
My first one is Patullo is too green.
I think you're right.
He just, it's like, dude, it's like the pressure is on, and you're right. We in September, but it's clear in the second half you wasn't making them play calls.
Mm-mm.
There's no way you was making them play calls. So based off of some information that I was looking at and that I heard,
okay,
personally,
you got different sources than I do.
Personally, if you notice, all of the plays in the second half went down to almost the last second of the play clock. It's because Jalen was at the line making adjustments and audibling. And he was audibling and putting people in position of where he wanted the ball to go. There was no, I'm going to just call the play that's being called. It was, here's the play. check for me at the line of scrimmage. And they got to the line of scrimmage. He looked at the defense. He made some hand signals. He was like, AJ, this ball's coming to you. Get open. And that's basically what it was. When he was dropping back and throwing to AJ, he wasn't looking anywhere else.
Right.
He's like, it's going to him regardless. So, and you got to realize, like, all of those things happen when he decided to take over the game. Whatever you call in these first 15 plays, this first script, it ain't working. So we're going to do our thing.
Right.
And you know, he's not going to come out and say what he did. Sirianni's not going to come out and say what he did, but it was obvious. These were not Kevin Patullo plays. There was none. There was no Kevin Patullo plays there.
Yep. I agree that the today it seemed very defensive. They were asking Sirianni, like, and they were asking Patullo too. Like, it looked like Jalen hurt. He's like, no. I mean, Sirianni flat out denied it. And of course he has to. Whether it's true or not, he's going to have to deny that, because you don't want to say that, yeah, our quarterback is a way better play caller than our own OC.
Right.
And that gets around the league. Forget about it. You're done. You're toast.
Right.
But for sure, Jalen Hurts was like, here's the deal. You call the basic structure of the play, and I'll work within that structure, but I'm still going to do my thing.
Yep.
And you saw both those guys. I mean, you saw AJ and Hurts say after the game, we got to let our players do their thing.
Yeah. And
they're basically telling Kevin, stop with the vanilla stuff. We need some serious plays. Look at Detroit. Did you see Detroit last night? Speaking of Detroit, did you see the crazy plays that they have?
They do. I mean, the handoff to Amon-Ra St. Brown,
and then another handoff,
and then the pitch to Gibbs was crazy. Like, that was crazy.
That was so much fun.
I was like, that's a crazy option, man. And I was just like, man, that was crazy. But I'm trying to think, like, I think DeJean would have got him.
I know. I mean, it's not like it's not like it's going to work on everybody. I agree.
Nah, right.
But the design, just the design to make you think they could do this again. That's what OCs are all about, to make the other defense go on their heels. Like, what could this be?
Right.
So that's a big thing. I said the second half offense, which is basically related to what you said for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yep.
Number 2, 4-point.
Defense stays solid, regardless of what you think. The fact that they had 26 points, right, or doesn't matter. They scored a touchdown. The first touchdown they scored, clear push off.
Right.
He pushed Blankenship dead in the chest and extended his arm. That was a push off. They didn't call it. He got away with an offensive pass interference, right? The second touchdown was the run from the second touchdown was the run, right, from Kylan Williams. That was in the third quarter, right?
Yep.
Everything else was field goals. So every time they got into the red zone, they just got a field goal. So it wasn't anything major.
I remember that touchdown. They got it because they got on the 10-yard line.
They got on the 10-yard, right? Exactly. So you got one touchdown from a push off. You got 3 field goals. That made it what? 16, 19, 16, 19 or whatever.
Yep.
And then you had the touchdown in the second half from the fumble from Jalen. But the defense did exactly what they were supposed to do. So after that touchdown from the fumble, what did the defense really give up?
Nothing.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like you got a touchdown off a push-off. And without that touchdown, you still don't win the game.
I agree. That was, you can tell, and you said the right word. It was the arm that was extended. That's how you know.
Extended. Now with AJ's, it wasn't a push-off. The defender sold it like he pushed him off, but his arms never extended. He just had his hands on his chest and then caught the ball.
His elbows were always bent.
Always bent. And then all he did was turn around and catch the ball. So I was like, yeah, man. I'm like, y'all can look at it. I got green colored glasses. I don't give a damn anyway. But what I'm saying is that wasn't a push off. And then Devontae was a push off. And then once they put Quintanamo on Devontae Adams, I didn't hear from him.
Yep.
I didn't hear from him. Nothing else. Nakua's that, I mean, whatever his name is, Puka Nakua.
Yeah.
A beast. He's a beast.
He is a beast.
Yeah.
And somebody had to cover him. You can't cover both.
Somebody had to cover him, yeah.
My thing was the second half defense, so I didn't give them the whole game, but definitely the second half, I thought they really played well. Let's get to the number 3 on 4 points.
Jalen, audibling equals a win.
I like that one.
Same as the Super Bowl. If he's audibling, I believe everything that he's going to do. I believe that he's going to get the right play call. And it's like, he ran when he needed to. He didn't run as much as he usually does, but he ran when he needed to, and he moved the ball. 4 plays, touchdown. 4 plays, touchdown. And Saquon just has to be Saquon. He's eventually going to get to a game where he's going to break out, and everything's going to be on his back, and he's going to carry the team.
Yep.
This week, it just happened to be the receivers that did everything.
Yep.
And Jalen.
Yeah, and I said, if everybody doubts what Jalen did, you should look at the Super Bowl catch 22. Look at what he did there. Also, look at the Rams game where Saquon lined up on his left shoulder. He told him, get on my right shoulder.
Yep.
And I know Saquon, but if you're not lined up on the right side, that play doesn't happen right.
Yep, 100%.
My number 3 was special teams, and we'll get a little bit more into that, but obviously special teams in every aspect. There's a couple of things, good and bad, we're going to get to in the grades thing that we'll get into. But I thought kickoff returns need a lot of work. I thought Brandon Mann and Elliott are still playing very well this year.
Yep.
And obviously overall with the block field goals and other stuff, which we've already talked about. But just special teams in general, a lot of stuff to uncover there.
Yep.
Number 4 for you.
Number 4 is Jordan Davis is the MVP of this game, dude.
Yep.
Stop the run on 4th down. He was the one that got through and stopped that run on 4th down. He chased down the quarterback to stop them from getting the 1st down. Blocked the first kick, blocked the second kick, and scooped it and ran it in. Blocked it, scooped it, and ran it in. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Well, you also said the magic word. The Eagles, and that's my little thing worry about defense, though. They only had 1 sack all game, and that 1 sack was him chasing down Stafford, which was a great play, by the way. But you know what? Makes me a little nervous. I mean, we did have a nice pressure on him all day. He wasn't comfortable in the pocket, but we didn't get home, and that's what's the name of the game sometimes when you got to do it, because putting those guys in a 3rd and long situation is better than him throwing it away, and it's still 2nd and 4.
Yeah.
I'd rather be 2nd and 11.
Right.
Or 3rd and 11 rather than 3rd and 4.
So you know who was missing, like really silent throughout the game, and it's like when these people are silent, then it's really going to be a problem. So Zach Bond had this interception to start the game, but I didn't hear Campbell's name, I didn't hear Makuba's name, and it was like and Zadarius Smith, like I didn't hear anything from those guys, and it's like you gotta have action from somebody else.
Yep.
These guys got to make plays somehow. And it's like when you don't hear those names and you see them leaving the field, I'm like, yeah, dude, you didn't show up today. You know what I mean? So that's what you're waiting for. Yeah.
I got a couple of things on those guys coming up too. They had some deeper insights into those things, and I'll share those too. So my number 4 was just halftime adjustments. And whether that's him automating plays, whatever, they made the halftime adjustments, which I love. Interesting thing, by the way. By the way, after pulling within 1 score at 26-21, I don't know if you saw on Fox, Jalen Hurts and offensive coordinator Kevin Patullo appeared to have a somewhat heated conversation on the sideline. I don't know if you saw that.
Mm-hmm.
There's no hot mic moments, but whatever it was, I saw that Patullo stood up towards the end, and then the running backs coach came like right here. It didn't look like it was very contentious. It was just a strong conversation.
Yeah.
Look at it. It was that. So interesting that happened.
Right.
All right. So game ball for you.
Game ball for me, obviously, in defense is Jordan Davis, and offense is Fred Johnson.
I agree. Both of those have the same ones.
Yeah.
Drama queen for you this week.
Rams fans. Dude, they are crying more than anybody I've ever heard in my life. And first of all, I don't know too many Rams fans. I just don't. I'm like,
why? Because they switch cities like we switch stocks.
Yeah, but I'm like,
are you St. Louis? Are you LA? Where are you going?
Yeah, exactly. But I'm like, listen, man, you're right. You can't beat the Eagles. It's just impossible. Kyron Williams is talking, I hate the Eagles. You should hate the Eagles because you're not beating us. I don't give a darn what you say. You're not beating us.
Yeah. My drama queen again is round 2 with Jalen Carter. I mean, This is a guy who promised I'm never going to do that again. And wouldn't you know it, the guy doesn't make it 2 games, and he's gesturing, doing something, and he got himself a flag.
Yeah, how is that a flag though, man? I mean,
no. Did you see what happened? He was doing this as he was walking towards the sideline. Then somebody said something to a teammate, and he started gesturing and pointing and said, "I'm going to kick your fucking ass." That's apparently what he said.
Yeah.
And that's when the ref flew the flag. It wasn't for this. It was when he pointed like this and said, "I'm going to kick your ass."
Yeah.
And that's when the refs were like, "You're done."
Yeah.
So, dude, you can't even make it 2 games from your promise. That's bad news. That to me is bringing drama where there shouldn't be drama, period. And again, Devonta Smith went and talked to him. I hope that makes a difference.
Yep.
All right. Let's get into the grades overall, and then I'm going to get into my specific grades for each one.
Yeah. For my offense, I got a B-.
Me too.
It would have been lower if they would continue into the second half, but the second half made up for everything that happened in the first half.
Yeah, I think it's like how do you average out F with A+?
Right.
B-.
Right. And then for defenses, the B- as well.
Same for me.
They were put in bad spots.
True.
But they did what they could with the position they were put in. So the fact that they was put in those positions and still stood pat, I was like, yo, you can't ask for anything else from that defense. You can't. You just can't. And then for special teams, I give it an A just because of the 2 blocks. The 2 blocks alone. But here's the thing. It would have been way worse the fact that we couldn't catch that knuckleball. I'm like, yo, man, somebody get it together, man. Like, why are you nervous? It's like you got 20 yards before they even get to you. Just catch the ball, corral it, and go. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then coaching, I have a C. Because if you put all the coaching together, offense was horrible, right? Defense was put in a bad spot. And the only reason special teams is bad is because you couldn't figure out to catch the ball on the kickoffs. So I just say C.
Okay. I had pretty much all the same ones. I had special teams. I had the same offense and defense grades. Special teams was an A-.
Mm-hmm.
My coaching was just a B, just because I think Vic always outweighs Petulo. Again, I had an A and a C. Average out as B. Right. Here's my grade. So Jalen Hurts was 21 of 32, 226, 3 TDs. He ran 9 times for 40 yards, 1 TD. He was 4 for 8 for 17 yards in the first half. Second half, he was 17 of 24, 209, 3 touchdown passes. Amazing.
Yeah.
By the way, of his 9 dropbacks, he managed to complete 5. 9 of his dropbacks when he was blitzed, he managed to complete 5 of those attempts for 69 yards and a touchdown. So good for him. Running back, I talked about. This is my first ever time I think I'm ever going to give Saquon a B. I get where you're coming from. I think it makes sense, but I give him a C+ just because 18 carries, 46 yards. That's a bad day. 4 catches, 9 yards, 1 drop. And I know there's 1 blitz, but there's 1 blitz you didn't give him, solace for. You just, you had to give him. So there was a drive later when Jalen McCullough rushed untouched and drilled Hurts. And that wasn't when Fred was playing. That was when Fred was playing. So It's just, I think, and you're right. I know he's trying to do the right thing, but the result at the end of the game, that's what we're talking about. So when you also talk about 2, here's one for you. A.J. Dillon was number 2 with Will Shipley still out. Didn't log a rush, didn't log a reception.
Yeah.
I didn't really see him out there. I remember seeing him like once or twice, but
I saw him about 3 or 4 times. But it's like, I also feel like if the game had been closer, if it hadn't have been such a big lead, I think Saquon has a better showing.
Yeah.
I think we run him more.
Yeah.
But I think based on what we had to do, you had to abandon the run at some point.
Yep.
And just get back. You know what I mean? Get back to where we were. And the thing that bothered me probably more than that was when we took the lead and we missed a 2-point conversion and we had to give them the ball back. It's like that's when the defense really got to pin their ears back. We did blitz some, but they were good at picking up the blitz.
Yep.
And then, like I said, our blitzes just don't get home for some reason. But
it's
that's gonna come with scheming, man.
And that's also going to come, I think, better too when Jahad Campbell figures things out. When that guy's going to start picking the right places to go.
Yeah.
You better look out. If you got the 4-man rush and then all of a sudden he's decides to blitz.
Yeah.
Picking an A gap or B gap.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Definitely guarantee Barkley is a C. You couldn't get anything going. Yeah, I mean, Moody, listen, I'm not I don't think I'm ever going to give Barkley. I just had to, between the blitz, the missed pass, the 2nd and 10 missed pass really killed me because that's something that he just doesn't do.
Right.
So there was just certain aspects of this game. He's trying. I mean, we know this guy's 110 all the time, right? It just bothered me that he just had that bad of a game. It just a thing.
Don't forget, he did have that big run against Tampa Bay last year.
He did.
Don't think for one second don't think for one second they're not game planning for him. So this might be the game where he gets off.
I got all kinds of good stuff on Tampa Bay, by the way, coming up. All kinds of good stuff. Okay, AJ Brown, 6 catches, 10 targets for 109 yards, 1 TD. Devontae Smith, 8 catches for 60 yards, and obviously the clutch touchdown pass, which was just amazing. The guy was kind of draped on him too, so it's just good stuff. Here's another thing I'm going to throw at you. Another thing, we're talking about people disappearing. What did we talk about at training camp? That there was a new connection that looked so good in training camp.
Was it Jalen was it Cooper?
No, Dotson.
Oh yeah, Dotson. Yeah.
Remember he was a different player. He learned the slot over the summer. He's been practicing. Dotson, 1 catch for 3 targets for 7 yards. I haven't seen a big difference yet, and I thought that it would really happen. So that's another concern going into the midseason aspect.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas Goedert, 1 catch on 2 targets, but boy, was it a beaut. If you're going to catch one catch, it might as well be a TD.
Yes, sir.
Speaking of people disappearing, Grant Cacateller and Kylan Granson, nothing really much from them. I don't know if it was a game plan or like you said, they got down so early.
Yeah.
Didn't see much from them. O-line. Pryor played 5 drives after Lane Johnson left the game, and those drives netted a negative 10 yards and no points.
Right.
Johnson played 4 drives, and they netted 260 yards and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And by the way, Lane Johnson just has a stinger, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, just so they know, and he should be back for Tampa.
Yep.
Couldn't get to Stafford. Williams picking us apart at the end of the game. Yeah, I don't know, man, Moody. Dotson disappoints me. I mean, he worked so hard. I mean, again, everything I read in training camp, he worked really hard to learn the slot because he didn't know the slot when he came last year. He was an outside receiver. He would occasionally go slot. So the camp, there was a lot of talk where Hurts and him really were in sync. I just don't know if Jalen trusts him enough to keep going to him. I don't get it so far, but we shall see. Looked like Jordan Mailata kind of had a clean game. I think Dickerson had a solid game. Juergens too. So I think it was just the right side. But by the way, Tyler Steen, talk about your Barkley guy. I don't know if you saw this, but late in the 4th quarter, he tapped his butt on the left side.
Yeah.
Say, I'm going this way, you go that way. Yeah. That was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that stuff. They did give up 4 sacks, and there was really no running game, so I gave overall a B+ to the offensive line, but they could be better. By the way, so we'll go to defense now. Just so everybody knows, Vic Fangio was out today. Here's his 3 main points. And this is my surprise for you. I think I told you I had a surprise today, so here's the surprise for you because it's something we talked about. Number 1, he said the run D issue versus the Rams with a little bit of everything. He's working on that. Good. On the safety rotation, I guess I didn't know this is either. Did you notice this? But I guess Makuba's not full time. They rotate with Brown and Makuba all the time.
Yeah.
Makuba tends to get more snaps, but Sidney Brown is out there a decent amount. So he said for now, that's the way it's going to be. We'll figure it out. But he said it doesn't mean that it will always be that way, but for now, that's what he's doing.
Right.
Last but not least, this is the surprise today, and we talked about this. Guess who's going to have an opportunity to play on Sunday?
Nakobe?
Oh, God, no. He can't come back until week 5.
All right.
That's a great guess, by the way, though.
Trotter Jr.?
No, I think it's secondary.
Oh, Keely Ringo.
Keely Ringo, by the way, he said, and I quote, he's going to get an opportunity, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's what he said. And you and I talked about this.
Both of them got dinged up. Adoree got dinged up a little bit, and so did Bennett. So, yeah.
I just figured, you know what? Maybe he learned from preseason. Maybe that was a good thing. Who knows?
Yeah.
The line. Jordan said 5 tackles for 5 tackles, 1 sack, and the Eagles just got 1 sack in the game. What do you think Mechie gets time of the season? Well, here's the thing, Moody, and we talked about this. Here's the thing, Moody, right? Mechie had more snaps last week, not this week, but last week when the Eagles were ahead because Mechie is a better blocker than Dotson. Dotson is not a great blocker. And I heard he's kind of a somewhat willing blocker, but Mechie loves blocking. So do AJ and Smith. So when there's blocking, you're going to see Mechie more often. When there's need for receiving like this week, you're going to see Dotson more often. So that's the deal with that.
All right.
And Eagles haven't said that, but all the sources have said that that's the reason you're going to see Mechie more than Dotson. Even though Eagles gave some chunks, their interior line came through in the clutch. Interior lineman didn't. The interior lineman, by the way, they went through the catch-22, Jay, and they said they didn't get off their blocks a lot.
Yeah.
Early on, which is why they were gashing us.
Yep.
By the way, my boy Moro Jomo had another invisible game. Real quiet as a pass rusher. Not happy with that.
Yep.
Eagles didn't get any pressure really from the edges. Nolan Smith knifed in the backfield for an early run stop, but that was it. Nearly got Stafford one time, but that was pretty much it. Jelix Hunt, on a bootleg play, he hit Stafford, so he stayed home, which was good, forcing him to make pass, but that was it from him. Uche and Smith, like you said.
Yep.
I mean, Uche is like, dude, where are you?
Yep.
I don't know where this guy is. But anyway, for LBs, here's the deal. So Zach One had 7 tackles, 1 interception, 2 pass breakups. That was a pretty damn good day. But Jahad Campbell actually led the team with 8 tackles.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, he was second on the team with tackles with 8. So, but here's the thing. You're right. Jahad Campbell, by the way, appeared to be out of his gap assignment on a few successful Ram games. So that's the thing. I do too, Moody. He's 6'2". He's 200 pounds. The guy's a perfect fit. We'll see what happens. But Jahad Campbell definitely was out of his gap. So I think, Jay, Jahad's still learning it. I think he had a good first game, but now I think he's getting beat up a little bit because they're attacking him in a way that they know he doesn't know certain things. And that's, by the way, Sean McVay. Guy's a genius. So he's going to attack the guy who's the weakest.
Yep.
So that's that. So cornerbacks, Quinyon Mitchell overshadowed Devontae Adams on 27 of 34 routes in week 3. It's the first time Mitchell has ever shadowed a receiver on over 60% of their routes.
Yep.
Mitchell gave up 2 catches for 12 yards on 5 targets. Unreal.
That's still good.
And that was in Blankenship, by the way. The only thing problem I have with Blankenship, and that you said it was a push-off, which is true, but on a review on Catch 22, he never should have been behind him.
Yeah,
Your job as that safety is to play. You're the only one playing deep, so nobody should be behind you anyway.
Yeah.
And he let Adams get behind him, so it kind of was his fault anyway.
Yep.
So Quinyon Mitchell had 5 tackles, had a really nice game. Puka Nacua did get his. He had 11 catches on 15 targets for 112 yards. Woo! But Eagles were great in the red, as you mentioned, they're great in the red zone.
Yep.
Cooper DeJean had an uneven game.
Yep.
He was picked on a lot. He missed a run tackle early on. He had good man coverage and third down in the red zone that he did, but he trailed Nacua when the receiver caught a 15-yard pass out of the slot. So Cooper had an up-and-down game. He's getting a little picked on in his second year.
Yep.
Dory Jackson had trouble. We know that, but he went out with a groin thing. Bennett got picked on when he came in, but eventually made a play late.
That was really all in the fourth quarter. They were picking on Bennett.
Yep, big time. Oof. McCoy, like you were talking about, McCoy and Sidney Brown, again, split snaps. Nobody really stood out, but Brown did play a few snaps, and he missed an open field tackle that went for a first down in the fourth quarter. So those guys are both learning still.
Yep.
And like you said, I think we're going to get better as the year goes on.
Yep.
We talked about Blankenship and all that stuff. By the way, here's an interesting thing for you. Vic Fangio, they asked him about halftime adjustments. This is what he said. They're overrated, and adjustments that are something that just happens throughout the game. But Jay,
we don't let people score in the second half though.
Look at this. Right. Look at this. Dallas game. Dallas scored 20 points in the first half, nothing in the second half. Patrick Mahomes tears up the defense with 5 runs for 60 yards in the second half, 2 for 6.
Yep.
On Sunday, Rams had 212 yards in the first half, 144 in the second. Kyron Williams ran for 69 yards, 5 yards of carry in the first half, 25 yards, 3 yards of carry second half.
Yep.
So he may say all the one, Jay, that he doesn't do any halftime adjustments, but he's doing something.
I don't see anybody doing anything else in the second half. Like I said, they probably don't score in the second half unless we turn the ball over. That's the only reason they score.
And he scored. Yeah, that's the thing is that it never should have. Blankenship never should have had that situation, Moody. That's the whole point. And Cooper is all over the field. I get it, but he had an uneven day. I didn't say it a bad day. He just had an uneven day.
Yep.
Yeah, Jackson going out was a minus and a plus. I agree. I don't think he's the answer. Let's see if Ringo might be the answer. Who knows?
Yep.
We had special team stuff, which we already talked about. It's amazing. But yes, the Eagles need to figure out something about this return game because John Mechie muffed 2, Tank Bisbee muffed 1, and they both made field position a disaster. Just so you know, the Eagles average 11 yards on 5 kick returns. The league average is 25 yards per return. We're averaging 11.
Yep.
11.
Yep.
And we had 6 drives that started at our own 20 or worse, including the 9, the 10, the 13, and the 14.
Like I said, like this, we can't do any worse than what we did last Sunday. So if it's going to
get in there,
if it's going to be a stinker, let that be the stinker, and let's move forward.
That's Britton Covey. Get him in there. And by the way, it falls on Michael Clay.
Yeah,
he's got a better job preparing. He knows this guy's a knuckler. How are you not preparing your team for this stuff?
Right.
I blame him. By the way, punter, my boy Brandon Mann averaged 43 yards a punt, which was not great. It was okay, but Jake Elliott made all of his point after attempts. The only bad thing is Sidney Brown took an unnecessary roughness thing. I mean, that killed it. That offset a penalty that would have given us a better field position. So, and by the way, both Calcaterra and Jeremiah True committed penalties on the second quarter kickoff. So they got to clean the special teams up in that sense. That's why I was mentioning that uneven day special teams.
Yep.
Eagles ranked 3rd in the NFL in completion percentage, by the way, allowed, and 5th in passer rating. So we're doing well on the secondary still with Eagles. By the way, talk about your red zone. You love the red zone stuff. Philadelphia has held the teams to 12.5% completion percentage and a 39 passer rating in the red zone. That's amazing.
Yes.
Eagles on 3rd and 4th down. Eagles have allowed 48% completion percentage, and which is 2nd in the league. So let's get to the Eagles stats on offense. You ready? It's still not great, but here we go. Eagles are the 27th overall offense in the NFL. That's up from 29, by the way. So that's up 2. Yep. Buffalo's still number 1.
Yep.
Passing now, we're 29th. We were 31. We went up 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you know who number 1 is? Passing offense.
Passing offense, the Colts.
San Francisco.
Yeah, I'm not worried about San Francisco.
Okay, just let you know. All right. We went from 7th in rushing. We're now 14th.
Okay.
Number 1 in rushing.
Number 1 in rushing would be, I don't know.
Buffalo. Buffalo has the number 1 overall offense and the number 1 rushing offense.
Okay.
We went from 16th in scoring to 8th. We're now at 25 points per game. Baltimore still number 1 at 37.
Yep.
But they don't look good. Eagles lead the NFL, by the way, in red zone offense, 100%. This is the first time since at least 2000 Philadelphia is perfect inside the 20-yard line through 3 games. That's amazing.
Yep.
The Eagles rank 5th in the NFL in points per drive, trailing only Detroit, which is great. All right, so let's get to the Eagles' defense. Eagles' defense went from 9th to 18th after this game, giving up 319 yards a game. Number 1 defense right now?
I don't know.
Still the Browns at 204 a game. I ain't worried about no Browns.
Nah.
Eagles went from 8th in passing defense to now they're 11th. Atlanta is at number 1 for passing defense.
Okay.
Interesting. Rushing defense, we went from 21st to 24th. We went down. That's not good. Number 1 is Cleveland at only 45 yards a game. Wow. Mm-hmm. We went from 12th in scoring defense. We're now 15th at 21 a game. Now we're up to 21, dude. Your 18 is blown out of the water. So if they score 3 touchdowns, dude,
yep,
we got to score 22.
Yep.
Green Bay is the number 1 scoring defense at 14. All right. Top 5 last week.
Yeah.
Who was your top 5 real fast last week? You remember?
Last week, my top 5 was the Chargers 5, Ravens 4, Bills 3, Packers 2, Eagles 1.
Okay, so I was Rams 5, Chargers 4, Buffalo 3, Packers 2, Eagles 1. ESPN had Bills, Eagles, Packers, Ravens, Lions. NFL had Eagles, Bills, Ravens, Packers, Tampa. Let's get to this week top 5.
Yep.
Let's go. Your number 5.
Colts.
5 Colts, which is great. I had a smorgasbord at 5. I know it's just cheating a little bit. I know. Look at you laughing. It's bad, dude, but I got to do it.
Pick one.
I have Bucks, Niners, Packers, Rams, Colts, kind of in that vein of thing. But I'm putting Bucks at 5. I'm putting Bucks at 5 for sure.
All right.
Number 4 for you.
Chargers.
Number 4 choose. Okay, number 4 for me is the Lions at number 4. Number 3 for you.
Buffalo.
Buffalo at 3. Wow. Okay, I have the Chargers at 3. Okay. Number 2 for you.
The Lions.
They have not. Oh wow, you have the Lions at 2. Even though you're not scared of them, you got Lions at 2. Interesting.
Yep.
I have the Bills at 2. I still think they're like obviously number one offense. That's just a powerhouse over there. I love them. Number 1 for you?
Eagles.
Number 1 for me, Eagles as well.
Yeah.
If you're wanting to know who's else is out there, ESPN has Eagles 1, Bills 2, Lions 3, Chargers 4, and they still have the Packers at 5. I don't know what that's about, but okay. NFL has Eagles, Bills, Lions, Chargers, and Bucks.
All right.
They know what's up.
Yeah.
All right. So as we get in here in the stretch, we're getting close to the last 10 minutes. Let's talk about our preview. Real fast, by the way, let's do a quick trivia. The Eagles' current 11-game home streak is their longest since when? And what is their longest? Just give me their longest win streak ever at home. If you can name the years, I'll throw in an extra gift for you. Also, this is the first time the Eagles have had 2 blocked field goals since.
Two blocked field goals?
2 blocked field goals. Wait, Bucks at 5. Why? Because here's the thing. I'm gonna give you an amendment to that, Moody. That's why I had like 5 teams at number 5. Colts are doing great. Colts are really doing well. I'm just not on the Daniel. I'm with you. I'm not on the Daniel bus just yet. I need to see him through a full season before I really think that this guy's got it now. We'll see. But yes, they had 2 blocked field goals. It's been a long time. So when the Eagles last have 2 blocked field goals in a game, and Eagles are on a current 11-game home streak, that is their longest since when, and how long was that streak, which is still the all-time streak at home. Now let's get to the Eagles-Bucks preview. Let me throw this at you, Jay. First of all, there's one of their top cornerbacks is out. Their best defensive tackle is out. Kalijah Cansey tore his pec, and he is out for the year. Right tackle Luke Godegeek, whatever his name is, foot, he's out for 4 games. And right guard Cody Mock is also on injured. They're both on injured reserve. So they got 2 backups at right tackle and right guard.
Yep. That
means J-Alex Hunt better just absolutely destroy that side because you got 2 backups right there. So that better be a good game for them. You also have Chris Godwin is still out. He'll be out until at least game 5 or 6, maybe mid-season. Now, though, Mike Evans might be out. Mike Evans is out 3. I'm sorry. Mike Evans is out 3 to 4 weeks. I'm sorry. I got this right. Mike Evans is definitely out this game. He's out 3 to 4 weeks with a strained hamstring. Godwin is supposed to be out until game 4, but he may come back. They didn't put him on injury reserve. He may come back this week. But he ain't going to be 100% anyway. So either way, your 2 top wide receivers probably not in this game.
Well, now the tables have turned because our top 2 receivers out last year when we played them.
Yeah, that's right. I like it. Oh, by the way, their rookie superstar, who this guy looks amazing, Emeka Egbuka.
Yeah.
He had 6 receptions, 85 on Sunday, but he's playing through hip and groin injuries.
Yep.
So he's still hurting. He's playing great, but he's still hurting. So, you got a lot of stuff going on here. So Eagles should be able to see extra rushers, by the way, in Buccaneers because Todd Bowles blitzes Jalen Hurts all the time. So Tampa Bay is blitzing on 35% of opponent dropbacks, which is the 6th highest rate in the league. Last season, Bowles blitzed Hurts on 40% of his dropbacks, which was the 3rd highest rate he faced all last year.
Yep.
But he completed 6 of 10 passes, 53 yards, and a touchdown. So he is looking pretty okay, but he was sacked on 4 of those occasions, just so you know.
Yep.
So right now the Bucs have nothing in the top 5. Mayfield and Irving are still formidable. Tampa Bay is 15th overall in offense. They're 11th overall in defense. So it's going to be still tough. They have a lot of injuries on offense, but their defense is still pretty stout.
Yep.
The biggest issue is going to be for the Tampa Bay is they don't do their 4th quarter defense has been pretty lax. They've allowed 5.8 yards per play in the 4th quarter. That's the 5th most in the league. And they gave up 2 touchdowns on defense in the 4th quarter against the Jets.
Yep.
So they're vulnerable at the end of the game. We just got to wear them down, and I think we'll do all right. So give me your update here, what you're looking for in the Bucs game.
Pick up the blitz, run the ball effectively, and look for AJ.
Okay.
And I think with that game plan, I think our ball control, run the ball definitely because it's gonna be hot as hell out there, and find gaps, man. Find ways to get Saquon. If we start the game off and Saquon is getting chunks of yards, I have no doubt in my mind it'll be an easy win.
Yeah, I'm with you. And then real fast to address you, Moody. Yeah, Baker is 3-1 against Hurts. That's tough. Ibuka he's worried about, but if you have only one guy, if Godwin is not going to be there, you're going to have Q shut down Egbuck. So if we have him on him, who cares what their other wide receiver is? Keely Ringo can cover him.
Yeah, we're good. We're good.
And so I'm not too worried about that. It's just got to be other things. So both of those issues are good issues, but I think we're going to be okay on both of those, Moody. And thanks for chiming in on those. That's good stuff. I think I could agree with you. I think this game you have to establish Barkley. Their defense is stout, but not impenetrable. So I think if you set it up and then you can use Barkley in the fourth quarter because they're getting gashed for like 6 yards of play in the fourth quarter.
Right.
You're just going to wear them down. And their best defensive tackle is not there. And that guy is really good at knifing through offensive lines. He was really good he was one of those penetrating defensive tackles. That's going to be big for the Eagles. So I think this is a very winnable game. I didn't see them going 4-0. I don't know if I am, but it's hard for me to pick against them with all those injuries that they have and the momentum and the revenge factor the Eagles have. They don't want to. If they lose to Tampa again, you know that they're going to be. It's in their heads.
Listen, man. I'm not picking against the Birds on this game. I'm not going to pick against them until they show me that I should have a reason to pick against them. After last week, Tampa Bay's going to have to score 40. They're going to have to score 40. I mean, so I'm just saying. Like Baker Mayfield does not scare me. He didn't scare me last year. Like I said, last year it was like we didn't have our weapons and we still made it a game. So we'll see.
Yeah, I agree. Well, the other thing is the defense, though, was just, I mean, they went 4 straight drives and scored.
Yeah.
That was the major issue. Is we were down so fast, it was like, what do you do?
Yeah.
It was decent by the end of the game, but it was still pretty much a blowout.
And our defense was still figuring it out then, too. So, yeah, we're going to be good. We'll be good.
Oh, by the way, speaking of return situations, Eagles did claim former Giants wide receiver Xavier Gibson off of waivers the other day, and they waived Kenyon Green. I'm sure they're going to bring Kenyon Green back to the practice squad. I don't believe anybody's going to claim him, so he'll be back in the practice squad.
Yeah.
But Gibson maybe solves these problems. But here's the thing. You traded for Tank. You can't cut him.
No.
Because somebody's going to claim him. So I don't know what you do there. And Mechie's still on the team. He ain't going anywhere. You traded for him too. Both those guys back there you traded for, you're not going to cut him. So, how do you fit in Xavier as your little gimmick guy?
I don't know.
That's going to be interesting. So I'm going to have – you're right. I can't pick against the Eagles, so I've got to believe that their offense clicks in a little bit better, even though it's still Bulls, though.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to have it as a huge scoring game. I just think it's going to be a good defensive strategy. I think it's going to be something like 24-17. I think the Eagles hold up pretty well because I don't think their offense is going to score that much. I just don't think the Eagles are going to score that much. Todd Bowles just always has our number.
34-17.
Damn. You got him going over 30 on Todd. You got him over 30.
Absolutely. Absolutely. 100%.
This is why you have to have
statement game. This will be a statement game, and they'll be like, "Who's stopping the Eagles?" That's what everybody will be like. Who's going to stop the Eagles? That's what they're going to say after that.
Well, this would be the second top 5 buster. We busted the Rams out of the top 5. We could bust out the Bucks out of the top 5.
Another playoff team, dog. I'm just saying, like, we start beating the playoff teams, they're gonna be like, well, I mean, who's going to challenge them? Who's going to challenge us in the NFC? We whipped the Bucks in Tampa. Who is challenging us in the NFC? San Fran? No.
San Fran's 3-0.
I don't care. they barely won that game. They played. They
lost Bosa too. That's a big loss.
Man, look, trust me, man. Ain't nobody messing with the Eagles, man.
I have to give him shit, folks. Otherwise, he gets too big in his head.
All right. We'll
only when the Eagles lose to Tampa is keep scoring. I don't think they keep scoring. Their offense is too beat up. I mean, the only thing it's going to do is their defense is going to clamp us. That's the only thing I can think of, Moody. That's going to get
us. Saquon is running the ball effectively. I'm telling you, it's going to be key. If
I agree.
Came off and he's running off in chunks, they're going to be like, we got to change it. What's the blitz going to do for you if we're running the ball well?
Yep, I agree. So they're going to try and establish. I think they're going to try and establish a little pass early, but only to set up the run that Barkley's going to go flying.
The key is Saquon. Trust me.
All right, so we are writing up our last thing. We have already given our Tampa Bay predictions. Once again, the trivia question: the Eagles blocked 2 punts, 2 field goals in the same game. They haven't done that since when? And let us know if you know that, and you'll get some swag from us. Also, Eagles are on a current 11-game home winning streak. Their longest winning streak was when, and for how long? You know either of those answers? Hit us up. Make sure you're following us on Apple Tunes, Spotify. You're going to hear us on those, but we're also on X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Follow us on all those platforms. You can win these trivia prizes. We got great swag. Go to BroadStreetMisery.com. Awesome swag on there. We got some Dallas crappy shirts and stuff, so we can make fun of them, but we also got great Eagles swag. We got great Broad Street Misery swag. So come and hit us up on there, and we would love to have you. That's going to wrap up our show tonight for week 3 of the NFL. We'll be on to week 4 next week. We'll be back every Tuesday night at 9 o'clock. Moody's going to go 31-21 Eagles. So he's up with you. He likes over 30. But I like that, Moody. I think it's good. I think they win 24-17. I think we all have 17, but I have different variant stuff. So we'll see how it goes. But thanks for following us, Moody, tonight. Thank you for your questions. It was great. Please follow us every week, and we'll come back 9 o'clock every Tuesday. For that moment wrap up, I'm Corey Alexander along with
J-Bliss.
And we'll see you next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Love you. Out.